Hey guys, LordOfPondtail here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Today it's another season hero guide and we're going to be looking at the SX hero, the Tarantula. She is the only Archer's hero in the SX2 group. I have her in a couple of accounts, in my main and in both Pond Farm and Pond Solo actually, but I haven't got her max, so we're just going to look at her in Maverick Pond today just so it's easy to look at her skills. So let's get cracking. Skill 1 is of course the Dictator skill, leadership skill, giving the extra 23,100 bonus marching capacity. Skill 2, Plundering Charge. It's a combat skill and effective range is 4, so if she is on that middle row she can then target all 3 enemy squads, and this is going to hit 2 of the random enemy squads. It's only 30% chance, which isn't great, but let's have a look at what it does. So 30% chance to deal between 256% up to 641% damage to 2 random enemy squads within range, while the damage dealt by the hero squad and the back row squad is increased by 40% for the next 2 attacks. So 641% to 2 random enemy squads, that's 1282%. That is high level damage. That's very nice for only her second skill. So I'd say that's pretty top end, particularly as she's probably not going to be your actual killer hero in your squad. She's most likely going to be a middle row, and you're going to want to really put a middle row because not only will then the second part of the skill buff her squad, but it will buff your back row squad, where if you've got say either Jade Eagle or Spectral Reaper, then giving them another 40% on top of their damage is going to do some serious... You're going to kill a lot of troops in your opponent. And that's for the next 2 attacks. Interestingly, at the end here, if the hero squad is the back row squad, then they gain a double damage buff effect. And this lasts 2 rounds. So you could put Tara in the back. Say if you don't have Jade Eagle or Spectral Reaper, she could be an option for you. But of course, bearing in mind that she's giving a buff to your back row, then I guess she would work well, or she can work with like Witch Hunter or Pacer or even Zorro, to be honest, because Zorro has some good damage skills as well. So that's skill 2. Skill 3, of course, is the defensive formation, giving between 5% and 50% extra resistance to the troops in your squad. And skill 4 is the offensive formation, giving between 5% and 50% of the might to the troops in your squad. On to skill 5, her second hero-specific skill. It's called Tag In. It's another combat skill, so Tarantula is quite combat heavy. And this is just going to target 1 random enemy squad with an effective range of 4. And this is a 35% chance skill again. So both these skills, you're probably on average going to see them activate 2-3 times a battle, I would guess. I'm going to show you a battle video with her in a minute, and actually these skills activated 4 times, but that is probably as good as you're going to get it. So let's see what this does. Between 162.5% and 402% damage to 1 random enemy squad within range, and before the back row squad's next action, that's your back row, deal an extra between 160% and 403% damage to 1 random enemy squad within the range of 4 from the back row. That should say, there's a bit of the text missing. So that means that you're looking at another 805% damage when combined with what her what skill 2 can do. That is significant damage. Couple of things just to quickly think about. If you did have her on the back row, would this then activate straight away, or would it last another turn? Sometimes skill, it doesn't specify about the turn duration. So do you lose the second effect if you put her on the back row? I don't know. The other thing to think about is it's before the back row squad's next action. Now, in the video, you'll see that troops are disarmed, but there's no suppression, and this skill does still activate. But what I wonder is if the back row had been suppressed, say by like an Avalanche's 5th skill, for instance, then does that mean that this second part of the skill doesn't activate? If it doesn't, then obviously this is not so kind of meta, is it? So let's move on. And of course, it's a range of 4 from the back row, so it's only going to target the front and middle rows. Skill 6, pretty standard for a middle row. You've got a mix of this might and resistance plus 15%. Then she's going to give you a little bit extra damage as well. And the usual 250% bonus to leadership skills. Nothing kind of out of the ordinary there. Skill 7, it's additional might. It's the discipline for archers. So this will give 40% extra might to all of the troops in your hero's legion. And then lastly, her skill 8, Evasive Tactics. It's one of these lovely status skills, so it's going to activate. And every time before the battle starts, the effective range is 1 because it's buffing her own squad. And this is the interesting part. It does, during combat, the self squad has a chance to obtain one of the following random bonus. And then we have 6 different options that are available for you to buff. So this is just a series of different buffs for her squad. You can restore some troops, so there's a healing element there. Recovery between 46% and 100%. 100% is a pretty good amount. Then the next 4, might resistance. Tactical might, tactical resistance increases by 24% up to a maximum of 60% if it's maxed. And the last element is damage taken decreased by 40%. The problem with this skill is that the benefits you gain from the different elements are not kind of level. If you think that really tactical might and tactical resistance, if you get this activate, increasing by 60%, that's almost double. Most people are running with between 70 to 80% tactical might and tactical resistance. So if you're running an extra 60% to that, that is a huge increase, a huge benefit. But might and resistance, some of the top end players are actually running with close to 600% might and resistance. Then this is only giving a 10%, 15% benefit. And for smaller level players, it's probably 20-25% benefit on top of your existing might and resistance. So that's where this is an issue. Now, the other thing to talk about is that it doesn't state a trigger, so it is 100% guaranteed. And the other thing is it doesn't state a duration. So the devs have confirmed that this activates each turn. So you have a different random bonus each turn. So we're going to see that in the battle as well. So that's why, if this was benefiting another squad as well in your legion, or all 3 squads even, then this would be absolutely amazing. But the fact that it's only benefiting her own squad, and you've got like a third of a chance that it could be this might or resistance, which isn't giving you a lot extra. I don't know how meta. When you initially read it, it looks amazing, but the fact that you're only getting one of these options, and what happens in the battle if you end up with just might and resistance for the whole of the battle, then you're not actually getting much of a benefit from this skill, and it's an 8th skill. So there we go. So let's get into battle video. Just give me a second to load it up. So my friend Robin in the Alliance has a max Tara. He was kind enough to share one of his battle reports with me. He is actually the Emperor this week, so we'll have to kind of factor that in. He did easily win this battle. He was just having a test battle with Oleg from another Alliance. It was just a friendly fight. But let's just have a quick look at these the information here. So we'll see. The Tarantula did get 9 skills used. I'd say that's very high for her, considering the percentage chances for skills 2 and 5. And she did over 100,000 kills because of that. So, like I say, her skills do a lot of damage. And if you do get lucky in this kind of instance, then she's going to do, if you had her on that kind of damage on top of what a Spectral Reaper does, that's going to be a great combo for you. The other thing as well, like I was saying about the tactical might and resistance, so you'll see, 80%, around 60 to 80% is the kind of range for tactical resistance and tactical might, while looking at just normal might and resistance, that would be about a 20% benefit to you, maybe not even that. So that's where that kind of 8th skill is not consistently good, in my opinion. But let's get into the battle now. So Robin's at the bottom here, and we've got the pre-battle skills activating. So Immortal Guardian with his 3, and there is Tarantula activating her Evasive Tactics. And so we get the first hit taken, and you're going to see now healing, 3,433 healing. That is the Evasive Tactics choosing the 100% recovery option. Because I know it's not Immortal Guardian's healing, so that heals less. You'll see it's only like 1,500 for his healing skill. Now into round 2, hopefully we're going to see a couple of her combat skills activate this time. There's more healing there going on. So we've got Plundering Charge and Tag in. So there's Plundering Charge. And there's the additional damage before the back row as well. So the second element of the tag in skill, you will see that activating when it's the damage is taking effect in red. You always know that's an additional element of a skill rather than the initial damage done. Do you see there as well? There was a +0 green on the middle row. That was the Evasive Tactics skill choosing healing again, and actually in this battle, it chose healing 6 out of the 8 times. So only on 2 of the turns were you getting one of those other benefits in terms of the resistance, might, or reduced damage. So we'll just speed this up a bit now. And during the battle, so we had the Evasive Tactics trigger at the start of the battle, and then her 2 other skills actually triggered 4 times each, Plundering Charge and Tag in. I think, yeah, that's probably going to be the best you're going to see. So there is her skills activating again, and we're about to see now the minus, there we go, 6711, but the back line was disarmed. But as that back row was only disarmed, it still activated the skills. But I haven't seen whether tagging, the second part of tagging activates if the back line is suppressed. But judging by the wording and my understanding of suppression, which doesn't allow any action, potentially the second part of tagging may not work. There you see, we've had several recoveries again, another 3,433 recoveries. And at the end of the battle, you've got Tara with 66,600 troops on her middle row, compared to the opponent who had no troops. So her skills are going to do a lot of damage. Let's come back into then just her options to finish the review. So how good is the Tarantula? Well, she's obviously SX2. She's a very strong hero. She doesn't really synergize with any other heroes in that a lot of her skills are kind of specific to herself or just generic buffs. So obviously this ape skill, it's just to do with her squad. This is just, again, just normal combat damage, and even with the first skill, it's giving a buff to the back row. I would say, what we've just seen in the battle is a best case scenario for her. She's going to work well with an Immortal Guardian on the front, and then either a Jade Eagle or a Spectral Reaper on the back. That's going to definitely be a good combo, and that's going to do a lot of damage. She also works really well with Sakura Blossom on the front row, and then with either a Jade Eagle or a Spectral Reaper on the back, because Sakura Blossom is debuffing the opponent and also buffing your own damage. So when you can see, if you do have Tarantula and Spectral Reaper in that legion with Sakura Blossom, then they're going to be doing huge amounts of damage to the opponent. But like I say, you could, if you're struggling for a decent back row archer, she gives you another option. Or if you're looking to buff your back row again because of the extra damage she gives, and again with Sakura as well, they would work if you put any of your back row archer heroes in there, because you don't have if you don't have Jade Eagle or Spectral Reaper, then those two heroes are going to help most of your offensive heroes. And you saw there that Robin had Zoro, and Zoro was still doing significant damage as well. So that's kind of something you might want to consider. But long run, she's not top tier. You're going to see, Defender SX3 is going to be better than her in like having him on the middle row. And in the long run as well, we've got other Archer heroes coming out in SX5 and SX6 that you're going to want to put into combinations that will be better than Tarantula. But like anything with SX, if you're getting them, they're worth having. They're going to be better than what you've had before. In terms of unlocking her skills quickly as well, you want to unlock skill 8 first, I would suggest, so that you do get that status skill guaranteed benefits in the battle. And again, because she's going to be middle or back row. Then you would want to have either skills, and then you want to do skill 6 second to get the troop count up, and then skill 7 last. So there we go. So that's everything for the Tarantula. If you've enjoyed this hero review, then I'd love it if you would just pop a like on there for me, please, guys. And if you haven't already, of course, if you could subscribe and ring that bell, that would be absolutely brilliant. I really like it if you could also share my channel in your Alliance Chat, Province Chat, Guild Chats, and through Line, WhatsApp, Discord, Viber, whatever you use to communicate with the other players in the game. That would be much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for now. I'll see you soon.